clerk please call, oh, I see that out loud.
Kelly Bray,
Present.
John Lee White,
Present.
Mayor Costin,
Present.
Mayor we have a quorum.
Good. You were sent the minutes from the Monday, December 12th meeting. Are there any additions, corrections to the minutes?
I did not have any,
No, I didn't either. I'll move that we accept them.
and I would second that.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, no, the motion carries. One thing that I would like to have looked at, if the two of you would agree, is some type of stoppage at home in the south or back at home in St. Clair. Right now, we have no signage, stop signs. You come across the bridge, you go all the way down to Ohio Street. So we need something somewhere.
We are totally on, my family is so on board with that. We were just talking about that the other day.
Well, but where do we want to put it? If you, and that's why we thought we'd ask the police chief to have a couple officers look at that, because if you come over the bridge at home, there's the turn lane. So if you put a sign there, it's way off to the right, and people aren't gonna see it.
I always feel like pulling out from home onto south, especially when you're making that left-hand turn into the Walmart. People come flying down over that bridge. And I always think there's going to be an accident here. Of course, that could be said at any intersection, but that one feels like there should be something there. But I don't know, I rarely travel south, but I do go home to Walmart, so I don't have as much experience on the rest of the South Street.
Right, and the other thing I'd be concerned about, if we put the throughway at home and south, if you're coming west over the bridge, like it was this past weekend, you've got traffic backed up, are you gonna create a hazard? So if it would be okay with you, if you, I'd like to see what the police department thinks about that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Under new business, Mr. Coffey?
We have before you item A and item B.
Tonight, our employment contracts, one for myself as city attorney for 2023. The second one, B, is for Louis Ransdale to be the code enforcement prosecutor. His is identical to the last 2 years as far as, actually the last 3 years, and is $12,000 per year. Mine was a slight increase, I think around $600 for next year, so it's an even $90,000 now as opposed to $89,000 something that was this past year. But other than that, it's identical to the last few years of what you have approved. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
While I'm generally not in favor of spending money, when I read through the contract, I questioned, where does this fall in terms of other places like ours and attorneys like you? It feels like 90,000 may not be as competitive as it needs to be.
Well,
I don't disagree with you, but to be honest with you, I don't know where it falls as far as other municipalities our size. I really don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm content with it. I've got no problem with it. So I'm good. I don't think it's too high, to just be flat out honest with you. And I know I'm being, I'm obviously the one you're talking to, but
I'm not worried about the too high part.
yeah, but I have no idea where it falls as far as other municipalities. I haven't done the study. I don't know.
Okay, my concern is, and I've voiced this before to others, my concern isn't necessarily for the folks that are in the room. My concern is for the folks that come after, and when you set a precedent, if we're not paying you enough, then the next guy or gal that we ask to come in here might not want to do this because it's not a reasonable, fair market rate. And that goes for city superintendents, or mayors, or police chiefs, or anybody else. You know, people, if we want to attract good people, then we should pay appropriately. So I just want to make sure that since we're having this conversation, that you're satisfied and the next person will also be satisfied.
No, I appreciate it. We've at least as far as I can remember, the city attorney for Martinsville has always been on a contract basis, so we've never been employees. And that attorney is, as long as the board works, is willing, they can always negotiate their own price as far as that goes. I will say that this is a higher amount than we've had in previous administrations as far as the average, or as far as the set amount goes. However, past administrations have also had the retainer amount, and then they've worked hourly, and they've had billed very generously hourly, so that at the end of the year, it came back, the amount was quite high, far north of $90,000. But having said that, you know, I feel like that, I mean, I'm fine with it, I'm content with it, and the last 2 years, 3 years now, I've not billed anything extra. I've just done it, and I have no problem continuing to do that. It does have a provision in here for litigation, so that it's there, if we have litigation. I have chosen not to use that the last few years because, quite frankly, the litigation hasn't been much, and so we've been fortunate. So, but I appreciate your comments.
Well, the other thing that Dale's not saying, he isn't just the city, I mean, he's handling the planning and zoning and the safe housing also, so.
Yeah, I know we do our best to get our money's worth out of them. But like I said, I've made this comment before, I don't remember to who, but it's our city is getting so much better, and I think we still have lots of great potential to realize. But if we want to do that, we need to make sure that we're attracting and retaining the right individuals to help us achieve that goal. And if we're doing.
Any other questions for Dale?
No.
Well, let's take these as two different motions. I would entertain a motion regarding the contract for the city attorney.
I would make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
It's been a motion made and seconded to approve the contract for the city attorney. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed no, motion carries. Next one would be a motion for the contract attorney for Lou.
I'll move that we accept Lou's contract.
Second.
So there's been a motion made and seconded to accept the contract for Lou. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed no, motion carries. Southern water adjustments this month, 640 South Jefferson Street, $54.05. 145 Anderson Place, $64.18. 533 West Pike Street, $1,226. $1,226.69. 185 South Morton Avenue, $220.58. 190 West Poston Road, $121.60. 259 Duo Drive, $1,439.03. And 140 Cramer Place, $202.68. You received the cover sheets in regards to this. Are there any questions or comments?
No.
No, I suspect that we'll probably have a lot of these next month.
Yeah.
And I bet they'll be salty. I would move that we approve these.
I'll second it.
Been a motion made and seconded to approve the sewer adjustments as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed no. Motion carries. Next regular meeting of the Board of Works and Safety will be on Monday, January 9th, 2023.